So in this addendum session entitled The Price We Pay for Sanity, we focus on Xylund, who was largely missing from the last group session, and we kind of see what he was up to while the rest of the crew was meeting the Keeper and getting their business taken care of, deciding where to go, and so on. Other unmentionable things. Xylund, for his part, had quite the adventure. Got to explore parts of himself that he probably didn't want to. Parts of the temple he wasn't meant to see. And got an opportunity of a lifetime. We hope you enjoy.
Ready?
I'm waiting on you, Chief.
I'm good to go.
Alright. So here we go. I changed the background. Did I move you too?
No.
Nope. Alright, we do that.
Ooh.
I like this picture a lot.
It is good, yes.
Alright, so
Enlarge it.
when we last left Xylund, he was shut up in his, heavy on the air quotes, workshop, which is actually Sia's workshop.
Was.
Is actually Sia's workshop. Where he was trying to put together the robot dog that he brutally murdered.
Oh, I forgot to think of a name for the robot dog.
So you're gonna name him Rover.
No, that was a joke name.
Okay.
Maybe I'll come up with something as we go along.
Maybe. So, Gayle is with you because he is helping you translate the schematics that Sia gave you, since most of the written notes are in Gnomish, not something that Xylund speaks. At least not yet. And smoking frogs amok like there's no tomorrow. Sia pops in and out every so often. You don't really register her presence very much. She's very short, for one thing.
Okay.
And she's pretty quiet. She doesn't interrupt what you're doing. She's kind of peeks a little bit, like under your armpit, to see what's going on, but she doesn't ask any questions. She doesn't touch anything. She just kind of observes. Sometimes she gets things from the bench, or she gets something from her bookshelf, but she doesn't disturb you at all as you work. Gayle lets out a few racking coughs every now and again as he adjusts to the air quality within the workshop itself.
Do you have something you want to say, Gayle?
No. No.
I can switch to booze.
You're out of booze.
Actually, I'm not. I bought a whole ton.
Did you? From Colin?
Yeah, I think from Colin. Or wait, where's the place before that?
The Ding and Sitch was the last place you were at.
Okay, then yeah, Colin, I remember. No, it was maybe it was Whitfield. I know that
only had potato ale. The Ding and Sitch was the larger tavern.
All I know is I ran out on the road, and I spent many golds stocking up on booze.
Did you?
I did, yes. So that I would never run out again.
Ever again.
Well, I'm still good for now.
Okay. Alright.
So I'll switch to booze.
Okay. Well, there's no actual ventilation in the workshop. It's probably the biggest design flaw of the whole place. So even after you switch to booze, the air quality definitely has a smoggy consistency to it. You definitely have to duck down underneath the cloud.
So what you're saying is I'm hotboxing Gayle.
You're definitely hotboxing Gayle. Definitely hotboxing Gayle. His translations start to become a little more fanciful after a few hours of working in there with you. So Now you have absolutely no concept of how long you've been in this room. There are no windows. There's no clocks, no mechanism to tell you the passage.
I make a clock.
You do not, because you don't know how.
I spend 15 minutes trying to figure out how to make a clock before realizing that I can't yet, and I go back to making my
But
goggles.
it's beyond my skill. Wipe it all away. Back to Rover. Now, the entire time that you're working, you get a weird sensation. At first, you think it's just the drugs, because it feels like there's like an insect just under your skin. It's not unpleasant. It's just weird. And it starts at the base of your neck towards the back, just where your hairline is, and then it goes away. And then you think you feel a hand tremor, but with you, that's not uncommon. And then it
How
goes
dare you.
away. Hey, I'm omniscient. I'm allowed to say these things. But yeah, mostly it's just on the edge of consciousness that you're even noticing these little things. You're so absorbed in what you're doing. If Gayle sees them, he doesn't mention them. Make a wisdom save for me, please.
I succeed.
Mm-hmm.
With grace and aplomb.
As always.
Mushnik mushroom.
Yes. I couldn't resist that picture. With a little hat on. Oh. His hat's not in his picture, so just imagine him with like a toadstool cap for a hat.
Yeah.
And I'm sold. I can't turn that down.
That's not bad.
No.
Wise as fuck.
Wise as fuck. So you keep working. As time marches on, you're vaguely aware of a conversation. It's like you would hear it through the walls. You can't really understand what's being said. You only hear enough to know that there are voices. You think it's Davin. It's got kind of that hi-ho, I'm a potato vibe to it that you generally ascribe to his voice. There's another low rumble that might be Kern. There's an arched, slightly sardonic, mostly sarcastic cadence that is clearly Ulrich. But you can't truly make out what they're saying, and you find that you're not really interested either. It's just something that's there. And it rolls back around after a bit. Except it's less hearing and more like vibrations through the floor.
Can I put my ear to the floor? I do so.
Okay, so you drop to the floor, put your ear to the floor as Gayle looks on. Confused. Having to make a wisdom save of his own. There doesn't, like, when you're physically touching the floor, it doesn't feel like it's vibrating. And it doesn't sound like there's anything coming from underneath it. And you don't remember seeing any stairs leading down. Now, granted, you haven't explored the basement a whole lot because you kind of beelined your way to the workshop. So there might be another level below this. You just don't know.
Do you hear that? I say to him.
Hear what?
Voices.
No. Kind of moves your flask a little further down the table.
Yeah, I'm going back to Frog's Monk. I light up.
He makes a face.
Maybe we should explore. I've been feeling a little bit strange for a little bit. We could probably use a break too. Stretch our legs.
Go outside?
Well, leave this room anyway.
Okay. Yeah, let's leave this room. That's a good idea.
So let's start.
Hmm?
So I'll leave the room.
Okay. So you're back in the hallway in the basement floor of Stone Alacor, looking much as you left it. For the most part, there's still the glass cases that line the hallway, And you can see the turnoff to the south that marks the T, and you can see the door on the other end, along with the staircase at the far, far end. Then the staircase that's nearest to the workshop. And all the cases are still full of various artifacts, standing suits of armor, and flat cases with swords and daggers and odds and sods. They look a little different to you, though. Go ahead and roll an wisdom save. You're wise as fuck. Look at that. They're still the same objects, but where they looked fairly mundane the first time you were down here, from what you remember anyway, because, drugs are fun. Now they seem to have a bit of a glow to them. What you thought was a suit of leather, just plain old leather armor, while highly detailed and well constructed, when you get closer to it, beyond just the additional glimmer now that catches your attention, you can see that there are actual tongues that have been sewn into the bottom of it.
Tongues?
Mm-hmm.
Like people's tongues?
Like human tongues.
Sewn into the bottom of this armor.
Mm-hmm, peeking out from the plates. You thought it was fringe the first time you saw it, but that's clearly not the case. If you peek closer, the leather isn't like any leather you've ever seen before. And for almost a second, you'd swear that it moves as it sits on its mannequin.
These motherfuckers are making armor out of people, I say to Gayle.
Gayle stops short as he closes the door behind you. What?
Yeah, look at this. Tongues.
He goes over to the case that you now have your nose nearly pressed to. I don't see any tongues, Xylund.
Well, maybe when you're older. But there's tongues there. And stop giving me that look. I ran out of the blood moss a while ago. I've just got a tiny little bit left and I haven't smoked it. Those are tongues. Tongues, Gayle.
Gayle's just... Okay. I thought you wanted to take a walk and get some air.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic first.
Okay.
I will use my Artificer ability to detectify some magic.
Alright. I forget, is that a ritual or is that an
Yeah,
action?
it is a ritual. Well, let me just look it up. I'm pretty sure it's a ritual.
Well, the spell is an action, but I couldn't remember as an artificer.
No, I think as an Artificer it's a ritual. I can cast it. Let's see how this is.
I believe you are correct.
You know the Artificer, blah blah blah. Yeah, cast them as rituals.
So you're going to spend 10 minutes
Standing here, looking at this tongue armor. Yeah.
Alright. Okay.
I'm going to make sure that Gayle looks at it too.
He's
Just-
looking at it. He's standing right next to you looking at this armor.
It's going to be like one of those, those 3D paintings where you have to squint at it
Oh,
to...
the magic eye?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get him to adjust his focus so that he sees the tongues while I cast this.
Okay. So you take your 10 minutes and... Detect Magic is just a given down here. Everything lights up. Everything you can possibly see lights up. And the type of magic is overwhelmingly illusion.
Okay. Nothing is as it seems, I say to Gayle.
It's
Follow
the temple
me.
to Xana.
So?
Goddess trickery.
Well, I didn't know that, did I? Why didn't you say that earlier?
He just shakes his head.
Gayle, we need to work on our communication.
He says as he takes the spig from my mouse is trying to escape. Alright.
Pardon?
Oh, my mouse was trying to escape.
Oh,
I caught it though.
good.
Alright, so now that you have this, are you going to maintain concentration on Detect Magic, or are you going to let it fall?
No, I'll just keep it going for now.
Okay. So yeah, the entire hallway is absolutely just ablaze. This whole place is steeped in illusion magic. You want to go up the stairs? Do you want to continue down the hall? Where would you like to go?
Well, at the T, there, if I go down the...
Yeah, if you continue to go straight, there is another set of stairs going up at the end, and
That's where we came down, right?
there's a door. Yeah, because if you remember in the what's the word I'm looking for? In the church above, there were stairs to the left and right that mirrored one another. So logically, it would probably bring you back up to the same area.
Right.
But there is a split that goes to the south that you've never been down.
That's where I'm thinking Davin spoke to Amber, though, probably.
Probably.
Well, I'll go check that out anyway, because it sounded interesting.
Okay. You turn down that hall. The stones in this hall are a little different. The glow doesn't change, like everywhere you go. You're just inundated by the sense of the illusion magic. But beyond that, you can see that the stones here, while the rest of the temple has that kind of golden cast to it, the white stones have a weird sort of yellowish thing. These stones seem darker gray to you. They still sparkle like Geshel, but much darker than what you're used to, either from gray stone or from the rest of the temple here that you've seen. The hallway isn't super long. About halfway down, there are two doorways directly opposed, one to the left and one to the right. And then at the very, very tail end of the hall itself, there's another door. And all these doorways and the door itself, the stone around them are carved with small butterflies. Just little lines and butterflies that go around them.
Do you see the butterflies? I say to Gayle.
Carved into the stone? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Communication, Gayle. What did I just say?
Communication, Gayle.
No, I meant... Never mind. So, there's two doors on either side of me, and then there's another door at the end of the hall.
There's two doorways, yeah. There's
two
no
doorways,
door,
okay.
But they are two doorways, diametrically opposed, and then at the end of the hall, there's an actual door.
So I'll peek in both the doorways.
Alright, the doorway to your right, it's actually not the most pleasant place you've ever seen. There's a large stone plinth in the center of it, and a book stand, massive book stand, with a huge book sitting on it, kind of at the foot, so it's closest to the door. The walls appear to be covered with plaques. The stone has worn away most of the writing here. It looks fairly well kept, but overall really gives you the sense of an abandoned mausoleum.
Well, this sounds like the place where he talked to his grandma, from what I know. I'll try to see if I can open the drawer that I assume is behind these plaques, or open one of these drawers.
Okay. Approaching one of the plaques.
Oh, can I read the writing on the plaques?
Most of it is in Gnomish.
No.
And the stuff that might not be Gnomish is really degraded. You do notice that there are small insets into each of these plaques where a gemstone or something similar size, about the size of a button, could be put in or taken out. It's definitely deep enough that it could be a socket. Some of them have stones already in them, some of them don't. And the room is massive. The room is absolutely massive. It seems to span not just, if you were to compare it, say, to the rest of the temple, it would have to go on well beyond the walls upstairs. Clearly.
Well,
this place is huge.
I'll go to an older looking one with a gem set in it.
Okay. There's no actual pull mechanism or any way that indicates to you how it comes off, how it opens, if it opens. There's no joints in the stone that give you the idea that there's anything behind it. It just seems to be a wall of these plaques.
Well, I don't want to start smashing stuff, so I guess I'll leave.
Okay. So you head back out the door, and of course, as you approach the hall, you're looking directly into the room across the hallway. And what you see is drastically different from anything else you've encountered in this temple. It looks like in that room is the center of a massive tree, all light-colored, but instead of kind of the circles of age or the grains of the wood, it just looks like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of wood-colored vines, petrified and amber-colored, that have been twisted and stacked on top of one another so that they've all been built around itself like a geode almost, except it's all these petrified vines. And that's just what you can see in the hall.
Okay, so I missed a little chunk of that. There is a tree in, or I'm inside a tree.
It looks, well, again, you're still standing in the hall, but looking inside, it looks like you stepped into the hollow of a tree. Like,
Okay.
there's no stone in there at all that you can see, not even the floor. Just from your vantage point in the hallway, it looks like the hollow of a tree, except rather than smooth wood, it looks as if individual vines have been wrapped and made into the inside of it, like a geode layering on itself.
Okay. Is there anything inside the room other than
from your vantage point, all you really can see is the wood, the color of it. It seems like there might be a light source in there because it's much brighter than everything else in here. There are as a reminder, no sconces, no light sources in Sarnalacorn, but in that particular room, it looks like it's lit from somewhere.
Maybe you should wait out here, Gayle.
Okay.
I'll go in.
Okay. So you walk through, and you are again standing in what all appearances appears to be the heart of a tree. And it is lit, almost as if there's a small scrap of sun that's just stored in this room alone. And now that you're here, it's not just grains and knots and what you would expect to find, but looking closely, there are faces that have been shaped into these gnarled, twisted, petrified vines, layered upon layered upon layered, all over one another. It's impossible to tell how thick these walls are, but you don't see a break in any of them. Even above, the wood twists and warps and the vines all come together, and you can see humanoid faces, eyes closed, most of them. Some not so much. Just a history of faces held in these vines, all crowded on top of one another.
I'll go up to one and boop its nose.
It makes no reaction, but it feels solid. Like
wood?
Your hand doesn't go through it. It feels like you've touched a table. It feels absolutely solid to you.
Oh, faces in the tree, heed my words. I come to learn of tree things. Hearken unto me.
Please roll a persuasion for your your beseechment of the tree people. Look at you, all persuasive and shit. The tree people do not react. The faces, if they are capable of speech or sight, give no indication that is the case.
Well, if that's what you want to be, I will take my business elsewhere. And I'll leave.
Alright. So now you're back in the hall. And Gayle is gone.
What the fuck? Gayle, communication! Shit. Can I investigate for some trace he might have left as he was...
Sure. Like, a trail of urine or...
Crap! I should have put on my halo first.
Well, I thought you had airless with
Oh
you.
yeah, I was while I was working, that's right.
Yeah.
I did. So that's a +1.
That's
So-
5.
5. 5 investigation.
5 investigation. You see hide nor hair nor urine trail of Gayle. He doesn't seem... He's definitely not anywhere in view at all. He's not through the open doorway that you can see. The door at the end of the hall is still shut, so if he went in there, he shut the door behind him. And you didn't hear him leave.
I'll go back the way I came and look down that hallway first.
Okay. So you're back on the other side of the T.
Yeah.
And again, the cases and such are still here. As you get, he's not down there at all. Like you don't see him. There are those stairs that lead up. There is still that door that's shut. That you didn't hear a door open or close.
I'll go back towards the tree room again and past it to the door I haven't opened yet.
All right. You get to that door. Heavy wooden door. You want to open it?
Yep.
Make a wisdom save. So you reach for the door handle on this heavy oaken door, and as soon as you get close enough to touch it, rather than your fingertips touching the brass of the pole, instead the door just dematerializes. And you see a dark stone, very definite mausoleum. There are sarcophagi on display, old, in decent repair, but clearly arranged in some sort of display fashion. These were either very important people or very, very bad people, given the way that their tombs have been kept.
I'll go look at the closest one, see if there's any writing on it.
Okay. So you enter the room, approach the closest sarcophagus, which is human-ish size. It's about 6 foot in length. Much darker stone than the rest of the building. Definitely not Geshl, but you're not sure what it is. It's very smooth and black. It's almost mirror quality. It's been sanded down so well. And there is writing on it, but it's definitely not gnomish. It doesn't look like anything you've seen so far. But it also hasn't faded. It's very clear. There's a bunch of writing on the top, on the sides, but absolutely still chisel perfect from the day it was made. It's just not something you can read.
Are these coffins carved into are they just solid square type deals, or do they have any likeness carved into them or anything like that?
Some of the back look like they might. The ones that are closest to you, the word modern doesn't really apply, but the closest possible thing. The ones that are closest to the door do seem to be newer. The ones at the back are much smaller and do appear to have relief or death masks and other sort of ritualized carvings into them.
I'll start heading towards the back then, I guess, and keep an eye out for one that looks like it's carved in Gale's likeness.
All right. 15-year-old boy screaming in terror. So you make your way back. Make a wisdom save for me.
Yeah.
Excellent. As you make your way into what you thought was the center of this room, which had about a dozen sarcophagi in it, you find that you have terribly misjudged the size, as well as the level that you're on. Looking back behind you, you've clearly gone downstairs. Not stairs you remember going down, but you can see them. They're there. And rather than a dozen or so, there's probably 50 or 60 sarcophagi in this room that you can see. This thing is a necropolis. The only word for it.
Okay. What spells do I have prepared? Locate object. What was Gayle? Was Gayle carrying anything that he always carries, like an object I would associate with him?
The only thing that you would probably associate with Gayle would be his journal. It's the one thing he never really lets out of his sight. His journal or his holy symbol, but if you remember, he gave up all of his stuff and it hadn't been returned yet.
He gave up his journal?
He gave up all of his books. They're all bound together.
Why did he do that?
Because he was told to by the big scary machine.
God damn it, Gayle.
You shoved a bracelet up your butt. Let's not be making any judgments here. The book wouldn't fit.
He's still wearing his robe, though.
Yeah, he was clothed last time you saw him. That is correct.
So could I use locate object on Gayle's robe? Or would it just find the nearest robe?
It would probably find the nearest robe.
Even if I described Gayle's robe very well?
Could you describe Gayle's robe very
No,
well?
but Xylund might be able to.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I know Xylund's not dumb, but he does spend 90% of his time either drunk or stoned, and he's not the most observant creature on the planet.
Well, I could do an intelligence check, and you could set the DC and see if I
Certainly
remember.
could.
So this is with plus one more than it says it is.
Okay.
16.
Not bad. You vaguely remember what the boy wears. Well enough you can use locate object if you wanted to.
I will. I will burn that spell slot then. So what do I get?
According to your locate object spell, it says he's where you left him. Behind you.
God damn it, Gayle.
I love how this is Gayle's fault somehow.
How much further does this mausoleum continue?
You can see the sides of it. You can barely see sort of the walls that contain it to the left and right, but you can't see the far wall. You can't see in front of you how far it goes.
Okay, I will head back then, but I'll sprint so that I can hopefully outrun the illusion. I don't know.
Okay. As you turn and head out, give me one sec. I have a book. What did I do with it? Damn it! Am I using it as a mouse pad? No. Am I just dumb? Probably. Oh, here we go. I have it marked.
Yay.
Huzzah! I'm not a complete screw up. I know what I'm doing. I just want to make sure I don't mess up the DC on this. Okay. So you turn to leave, heading back towards the door. Again, mindful now that there are stairs that there weren't before.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get closer to the door, it's infinitely further than it was the first time you came in here. The temperature around you drops suddenly. And I'm going to have you roll initiative for this.
Oh, shit. Fuck me! What the fuck? No!
That is clearly the best response to that. Alright. Go. Get my notes.
I will spend the time wherein I'm not doing anything constructive or responding to danger, instead lighting up another bowl of frog's muck.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Is that why you're...
Yes.
Is that why it's so bad? See? It's not good. Okay. So as you're heading back, if you remember from the battle in the center of the caravan, there was that entity, that swirling collection of rags and strips of cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks like what that might look like without the strips of cloth. It's a large, fairly skeletal, but not entirely corporeal entity. Just the barest wisps of cloth still cling to it, and you're not even entirely sure that they're actually there. There's a cold that emanates from it that absolutely set your teeth on edge. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Fuck!
So, thus ended Xylund. He lived a good life.
Why was I not using Divine Sense? I am a goddamn paladin.
You are a goddamn paladin. So yes, as you watch, the entity sort of reaches into your chest. It's much as the other creature was. This one also mutters constantly to itself in the low creaking voice of coffin nails on wood. It's clearly angry, but it's an old anger, and it wraps itself. It's not exactly like a hand, but the pressure wraps around your heart, and for just a moment, it seems to stop.
Didn't this happen during the fight with Davin's aunt?
Ori?
Yeah.
Ori actually moved inside you. Like Ori had the ability to effectively share space with your body and cause damage, as well as slow you down. This creature seems to be able to do that while still standing outside of you. It's again, it looked like its arm, but a projection into your chest, and just sort of squeezes. And you take 10 points of force damage. As it refuses to let go. And unfortunately, you are considered incapacitated. Just as you think this is it, I've smoked my last bowl of frog's muck. This is all done for me.
My flute pipe drops from my numb fingers.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
The room lights up with a brilliant burst. And whatever this thing is drops you. You instantly feel it leave. Not just the pressure from your chest, but the cold and everything else. And looking up, they're standing on top of the stairs. In the doorway is a very cranky looking gnome. whose workshop you have stolen. And he runs over and tries to get you up and moving.
I'm
He's
good.
half dragging you. Come on, she says. Very
Pick up my
quietly.
pipe.
Get your pipe. You sort of half runs, half drags you out of this area until you're back in the hallway.
Do I see Gayle?
You do. The hallway looks very, very different now that you're back in it. Gayle is absolutely right where you left him, standing in between the two doorways. Those doorways are not actually doors. They're not open any longer. They're actually solid doors. And rather than having that sort of overcast gray stone that you saw your first trip down here, it now is the same golden cast stone as the rest of the temple. Everything looks the same.
Is my detect magic still on?
It only works for 10 minutes.
So that was more than 10 minutes.
Yeah. You did quite a bit of exploring.
Okay.
And even just looking over Sia's shoulder, the door that you just came through isn't there. The wall. There's no door, there's no doorway. It's gone.
It's kind of easy to get lost in this place.
And Sia just kind of looks up at you, and her eyes are just huge. They take up half her little face. Just kind of nods.
So who is that?
And Gaze kind of flicks over to Gayle. Why don't we talk in the workshop?
Alright.
Why don't you send your little friend to the library?
She called you little Gayle.
Gale's looking a little pale himself because he just watched you walk through some walls. And he's like, that's okay.
Did I just walk past you earlier?
Well, you have been walking through these doors for the past, however long, and then you just sort of walked through me and through the wall.
Walked through you?
Yeah. I tried to stop you, but it didn't seem like you heard me. And then the priestess came in, and yeah, he looks severely spooked.
Well, maybe go read a happy book in the library, and I can loan you some frog's muck if you want. It'll take the edge off.
No. And even Sia kind of pipes up at the same time. No. Badger made some food. I brought some for you. I'll just put some in the library so you can just have a sandwich. You can both have a little food. So yeah, she kind of shuttles Gayle off down to the library while still sort of casting glances over her shoulder back at you, making sure you're following. And once he's tucked away in the library, she heads back to the workshop.
I will grab a sandwich if there is one there for me.
Yeah, going back to the workshop, the door is now open. Gayle had closed it when you guys left, but the door is now open. And there's a small plate is charitable. It looks like it might have been a clay roofing tile at one point that has sort of been made into a plate. Sort of scavenged as one. But there is some slices of meat on there and one roasted fish. And there went my books. On the floor.
No.
It's okay. I got notes. Most everything in this is custom anyway.
I'll leave the fish for Gayle, since it's brain food.
You need that, though.
He needs it more, though. I've got my muscles. He doesn't have that.
That's, he doesn't. He's a tiny man. So yes, there's clearly food in here. And Sia comes hightailing it. into the workshop, shuts the door, hops up on her stool. Your friends are eating, so I came to check on you and bring you food, too.
Where are they anyway? Are they below us?
No.
I heard voices from below.
You heard voices?
Yeah. And insects crawling under my skin. I didn't hear them. I felt them.
We're just chewing on her lip a little bit. They don't even know there is a below us.
Oh, they don't? Who were those guys down there anyway? I mean, who are the guys in the tombs and who's the raid guy?
I don't know if he has a name anymore. You're not. You shouldn't be able to see any of that.
Well, I'm pretty smart.
She kind of gives a very skeptical look in your direction.
I've also been smoking a lot of blood moss lately, which might have opened my third eye.
Not how that works.
I don't know. I opened a dimensional doorway once with my third eye.
I don't know what to make of you. You should be dead.
Well, I'm a paladin.
You should still be dead.
Gernon likes me quite a bit. I think.
You might have noticed, but the rule of law isn't exactly a big thing down here.
Yeah, fair enough. So who are in the tombs then?
The tombs are just like the cases. Things that have to be sealed away.
There were tongues in that armor. That armor outside the door there, it has tongues in
Kind
it.
of nods super slowly. I know.
What happens if you put it on?
You? Nothing. It's a cursed item.
Cursed how?
You hit people with it. Really robs them of their sanity. They hear voices. It's not something that should be out in the world. Most people, and again, she looks at you with a mixture of kind of awe and like, I don't know if I should put you down, or... Yeah, most people don't see that, though. They just see leather armor.
So the wraith just sort of haunts this place? Was he here before you guys got here, or...?
I don't know how long he's been here. He's not the only one.
Is he different from the one that we fought earlier then?
Oh, yes.
Oh, so there's tons. Or more than one, anyway.
This place is full of memories that have to be buried. And those things are just one part of it, I guess. What happens when you try and put too much power in one place and it starts to leak out.
Do they sort of live in the Geshelstone?
Yeah.
So how do you keep them contained?
We do our rituals. We keep the light on. We keep the temple safe. The keepers control as much as they can. That's why you shouldn't be able to see any of this. I mean, that room that you found, not even Badger knows that room is here. So, what are you?
I am Xylund Shrillsteel.
Well, if you could see, then why did you blow up my jail?
Well, I didn't... What do you mean? I didn't see... There were no Wraith guys in there. There was nothing to see there. It was just a jail, wasn't it?
You didn't see then, but you see now.
What's... Okay, well, what was there to see there?
That's not important now.
Well, let's go take a look.
Let's not go take a look. You can't. I can't just let you. Faces.
What was that?
I can't just let you walk around.
Oh, I also saw this room with weird resinous petrified vines with faces in them. What was that all about?
That's the keeper's room.
I didn't see a keeper in there.
You saw the faces, right?
Yeah.
Those are the keepers.
Oh, okay. So did they... I booped one on the nose. And I beseeched them.
Your face just became the rictus of horror. You pooped one on the nose?
Well... So that was a faux pas, is what you're saying?
She just looks horrified. Don't boop keepers on the nose!
Well, you should put a sign on the outside to that effect then.
We never needed
No
a
booping.
sign before. Keeper is here. I was gonna get your friends, but maybe I should get you first?
Alright.
They're eating dinner anyway. So come with me. And
Okay.
if you boop him on the nose, I will stab you in your kidneys. Don't you think I won't?
I'm wearing armor.
Don't you think it matters?
But is he also a vine person?
And she kind of gives a little half shrug. Sorta.
Alright.
You're generally not. You're not exactly the guy I want to take home to Dad, okay? So just try and just don't break anything, and if you see anything, just don't touch it.
Alright.
Because you can see doesn't mean things here won't hurt you, apparently. So she hops off her stool and opens the door. Come on then. She starts heading down the hall.
I
Don't wear
follow.
that armor either. Just don't touch anything.
I got it the first time, goddammit.
I can't trust you. You almost died.
Well, that'd be one less problem for you, wouldn't it?
Well, no, that'd be a big problem because then I'd have to bury you. That
You
takes
just-
forever.
I was already in a mausoleum, just let me rot there.
Oh, you think the stones just grow up out of the ground? Like nobody has to do that kind of stuff? Nobody has to make it?
No, but I mean, you don't go down there at all, so who would know if I was just left to rot
I
there?
would know. I would know. The keeper would know. He's gonna know you booped him on the nose, too.
So are all keepers the one keeper then, or?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, he should have answered then. When I beseeched him for his aid.
He was probably testing you. He does that a lot. If he asks you any questions, just answer it honestly. And if
Okay.
he tries to get you to do something that you're pretty sure is wrong, it's a test.
Okay.
Which takes you to the door, which, again, looks totally open to you. Looks like a doorway. But for some reason, she mimics as if she's opening it.
Wait. Could you close that door again?
So she does.
Watch this, and I walk through it.
She is. sighs. She walks in behind you. I'm just used to it, okay? So you walk into the heart of the tree room once again. And in the center, there has now sprouted up. From what you can see, there's a desk and the top half of a man. It's the picture I posted.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, let's say I could post it again if you like. But older man.
This is the tree room again?
Yeah.
Okay.
This wasn't here the first time you were here.
Gotcha.
But now you can see there's very much a desk, a large wooden desk, and the top half of Novus, the keeper. Very, very old, half cataracts eyes, fiddling with some papers. From your vantage point, however, the desk itself is just sort of a tabletop, and everything beneath it is the same petrified vine collection that the rest of the room is made out of. It's growing directly out of the floor and into the upper half of Novus. And so Sia says something, presumably in Gnomish, because you don't understand her. And the keeper looks dead at you. And holds his gaze for a second or two.
I will give him a smile.
Oh gosh. There's the charisma check. Low charisma paladin, I love it.
I've got a 14, that's not bad.
Not bad. And that is a good charisma check. You flash him a winning smile. Charming as fuck. Keeper looks up, kind of takes you in. He's like, beseeching the trees, huh?
Yeah. No disrespect was intended with the nose booping.
Kind of chuckles to himself in a very deep, sort of cracked leather old man chuckle. None taken. We don't get a whole lot of levity down here. The occasional nose boop, I don't think, will do any harm.
So are you a person or a tree? Or I mean, I'm not saying trees can't be people. I'm just saying...
You can hear Sia sitting next to you. She's like hopping from one foot to the other. She's sort of huffing and puffing a little bit.
I kind of backed myself into a corner there. Pretend I didn't say anything.
The gatekeeper sort of laughs again. There's nothing wrong with questions. Questions are why we're here. This is the heart of the temple, and you apparently can see it for what it is.
Sometimes, anyway.
Sometimes?
Well, it sort of changed back to the way it was after I came up the stairs.
That was my fault, I'm afraid. I just returned and realized we had a stray on the property.
Who? Oh.
Not that I'm not amused that you are able to see past. I just didn't particularly want you to die.
Well, I aim to amuse.
Kind of laughs a little bit. I've seen the destruction. That's impressive.
Yeah, I know. I mean, unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very regrettable. Feel real bad about that.
I can tell.
Looking at Sia out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, she's so mad. Like, her whole face is just bright red. Her little fists are clenched and held to her side. She wants to talk.
I'm trying to fix it, though. I'm going to fix that dog. I'm going to put that dog back together. I haven't really settled on a name yet, though.
The keeper nods. That would be helpful. You
Well, I
seem to
think,
like it here.
yeah, I think we could, help each other. Feel like there's a lot I could learn from you, and as I learn from you guys, I'd like to put my skills to use here to help you rebuild what I destroyed.
Can you roll a charisma check on that? Just for my own amusement?
Eh.
little too much laugh for it to be charismatic. You're enjoying yourself a little too much. The keeper kind of nods.
Well, Xylund is obviously very proud of what he did with the magic bombs. He's
Clearly. Which, again, is a mix of he should be because it was really impressive, but he also did a lot of damage and ruined decades of Sia's work.
Yeah.
That's not as cool.
And I like the people down here. Sia has been very helpful, very welcoming. Thank you for the use of your workshop, Sia. I appreciate it immensely. Badger, we had a moment. He's a very nice guy. Like him a lot. Rover, or whatever I'm going to name him, didn't really get a chance to talk much. Seemed pretty good for a robot dog. Mist creatures, not the biggest fan of those. Wraith guy, nope. You seem fine. So I think I'll fit in here.
The keeper is just kind of looking at you, absolutely bemused at your rant. Well, it's not quite that simple here. You sort of have to earn a place. We'll offer you one if you'd like it.
Oh, okay. When you say offer me a place, like Badger has been here for a long time, and I don't know if this has come up in your conversations, or if you already know this in your infinite arborist wisdom, but
Sia's just next to you going silent.
Pardon?
Sia's next to you going silent for fuck's sake.
But I'm actually under a sort of a. I have a previous commitment to Nasali of Greylock to figure out what is going awry in the world as far as stuff concerning Amra, who apparently is in orb form down here, or at least a good part of her. So I got to figure that out before I can commit to any long-term sort. I mean, not that I won't. I would like to remain on cordial relations with you guys, and if I would like to return here at some point, and I don't have a problem with staying here for a while to help you out. And what you're doing here seems like a real worthwhile cause, keeping evil under wraps. But like I say, I'd rather be about in the world for a little bit more.
Oh, I didn't say we would keep you here.
Oh, okay, well then that's fine then.
He's kind of half smiles to himself. Unless your friends are willing to trade you.
Well, you can ask them. I'd be interested in what they say.
Perhaps I will. Well, clearly, you already have some control over this place, so we're gonna have to exact a price for that. I'm sure you understand.
Exact a price because I can exert control that I didn't really intend to. It seems more like I should get a prize. Like, ooh, control. I don't
Then
know.
consider it a prize.
Okay, I will then.
He'll explain to you what you need to do. And you can return to me when you're done. Fair?
How long have you been keeper?
Above ground or below?
Either. Can you be keeper above ground?
For a while. But In the end, you can't hide what you are. I came down here. I've been down here years? You? Not entirely sure. I've been keeper for 150.
And so Sia is going to turn into a tree at some point when you turn into a vine face?
Sia will take after me, yes. You're
so,
not being asked to become a tree face.
Okay. Just making sure.
And Sia's just next to you. She's so pissed. You can just feel it rolling off of her. Like she wants to say something so bad, but she won't. Because the boss is here.
Sorry, I'd like to get a clearer idea of what I'm getting into before I commit.
I'm afraid you're already somewhat committed. But
Well,
feel free to ask your questions.
Okay. So what's the well?
The well's outside.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, you mean, what is the well in the greater cosmic scheme?
Right.
The druids thought it was a portal to another world. A vestige of the old great powers. They sacrificed to it. They kept it safe. Eventually a pact was made with the origins of this church and the druids that own the land. They were uncomfortable with the energies that had built up here. So the temple was constructed and they moved on.
The druids moved on?
They hold no lands anymore. They scour the world for people, for things, for information that they find interesting. And they send it back to us. Badger is one of them.
He's a druid.
Of sorts. Trained by them anyway.
So would I be an honorary druid then too?
No. You would be a member of the Bloodwell Guard. We protect the temples, each other, the items in here. You'd be allowed to walk the earth, encouraged to walk the earth, but you would always have a connection here. You would be asked to come when called.
Okay. So I'd sort of be off duty when I was wandering the world. I wouldn't actually be serving. Like, is there anything you want me to do out in the world, or?
Do as the rest of us do. Eyes and ears open. You happen to come across another of our number or associates, help them as best you can. If you come across individuals or items that might be dangerous, collect them as best you can.
Well, we're tracking down this dragon orb that Amra made. Would that qualify?
That would most certainly qualify.
Do you know anything about that?
I know it's dangerous. I know she was ashamed of it, and I know it was the finest, most powerful thing she ever made.
Does it is it like a portal to another world, or does it contain its own little world?
I haven't seen it myself. It's been hidden from us for a long time. I'm not entirely sure what it can do. When she was fractured, she was only able to tell us so much. I know it's a key.
When you say...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
Might be a key to another world. Might be its own world. I don't know.
When you say fractured, did she come to you fractured and then you
No,
split her?
she was fractured in the process of collecting her gem. She agreed to it, in case that wasn't made clear. And he looks over at Sia.
No, I got that. So why did she do that again?
She came to us for help. She didn't want the orb or any of her creations to cause any more damage than they already had, and she didn't have much control over quite a bit of it. So when she came, it was after a long period of remorse and an attempt to redeem herself in her own eyes, I suppose. Maybe in the eyes of her children, I don't know. And when it became clear that the town, for whatever reason, wanted to end her life, she decided not to fight. That perhaps her knowledge was worth more than she herself was. This is what she wanted.
So you preserved her in crystal form and then she went up and let them burn her or whatever?
Other way around.
They burned her and then you preserved her in crystal form.
The body they buried was not Amramar. That is true. We kept it.
Oh, and you sucked her soul out?
And Sia is just so pissed. Yes. At her request.
Okay, yeah, I got that. It was all consensual, I understand. Why did Navik take her bad half?
In his face, which up until this point has been pretty, I mean, he's definitely got the grumbly old man thing going on, sort of like a crotchety Santa Claus thing. But he's been pretty pleasant. His voice has been pretty even keeled, and his expressions have been mildly amused this whole time. He's very laid back. At the mention of Navak, his entire face just changes. I wouldn't care to guess. I am only dismayed we couldn't retrieve it.
He seemed like a crank, but I didn't peg him as being a soul stealer.
You've met him.
Yeah, we had a kind of a harrowing encounter with him. He had this tower in the middle of the treaty woods with it was full of traps and illusions and stuff. Kind of like this place, only worse. Not that this place isn't super nice, but his place not so much.
He learned his lessons very well.
So what would happen if we broke this dragon orb, do you think?
I'm not sure you can.
Okay.
If you could, there's no telling, honestly. If it's a portal, then you could simply create a door to another world, if that's possible. If it's something entirely different, then you could destroy us all. Hard to say. More study is required. You happen to find it in your journeys and wish to return it to us.
Well, Amra had a home in Lorehold. She might have some notes there on what it is and what it does and such.
I thought her home was in the woods.
Apparently she had another one. That's what I'm hearing from Davin anyway.
Seems like a good boy.
He's alright.
From what I hear, anyway.
Okay, I think we're good then. Alright, I will face the test you set for me and give it my best.
Give him a thumbs up. So he sort of nods at you. Wish you the best of luck then.
Thanks.
And Sia sort of like pitches her head to one side. She's so pissed off. She's so mad. Her whole body is just bright red. You can hear him mutter at her as you guys leave the room. You know, don't worry, Sia. I'll collect Badger myself. And so she says, "Come on, go before your friends get down here. I don't want them to see. Can't believe you did that. What is wrong with you?
Did what?
Why do you talk to him like that?
Like what?
So rude.
No, it wasn't. That was super pleasant.
So rude. So rude.
Well, does he have a title or something? What's his title?
Well, he's just keeper, but I don't even know what to do with you. I don't even know what to do with you.
I don't even... Xylund is just replaying the conversation in his head and like in his mind he's just like very rational, reasonable, very polite and debonair.
Of course. Nat 20s and all, charisma checks, no problems at all.
I mean, I did...
Yeah.
No, it was alright. It went well.
Do you really want to join us? And she's still walking down the hall.
Yeah, I mean, I owe it to you guys. I blew up your place. And like I say, we got a lot to offer each other, I think.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to take the oath. And
Alright.
you can't ever take it back.
Or what?
I'll explain upstairs. Come on. So she's leading you back into the tea section of the hallway, past the library. The library door is shut, so Gayle could be in there. Gayle could be...
Should we get Gayle?
No.
Why not?
It's a private oath thing. You have to take it You're a paladin. You have to take this seriously.
I am taking it seriously. It's just that he's writing our story, and this is a dramatic moment in my story, and he should be there to chronicle it. For when we turn it into a... It's this whole thing.
So she kind of goes still for a second, like she looks at her feet as she stands in front of the library door. And then after 2 or 3 beats, she's like, "Okay, fine. Grab him, but hurry."
So I knock on the door and then go in.
Gale's still eating his plate of meat that was left for him.
You're still eating? I thought teenagers ate faster than this.
He looks up with a mouthful of food. "You come in here just to yell at me?"
Not just to yell at you. Is there bread on the table?
No, it's just meat. He didn't get... That's all Badger made. It's just meat and fish.
Okay, bring the plate then. You gotta record this for posterity. I'm about to join the Bloodwell Guard.
I don't have my books.
Ah, fuck! I go out to see if... Can Gayle have his books and writing implements back?
They haven't been released yet.
They're fine. It's just a journal.
Well, I can give him something to write on.
Okay, thanks.
He ducks in the library and comes out with, like a wad of parchment and some charcoal. And short notice.
Is that good, Gayle?
So Gale's trying to balance charcoal and this wad of parchment and this plate. And
I'll carry the writing stuff. You just finish your food while we walk.
Sure. Now he's stumbling behind you guys up the stairs, shoveling this meat into his face as quick as he can, muttering to himself in stroppy teenager voice. God, no, we can't get a goddamn minute game. Goddamn done.
We're really gonna have to have a talk about that attitude, Gayle.
Where are we going?
I don't know, probably to the Bloodwell, since I'm joining the Bloodwell Guard.
You hear this choking sound behind you as you guys start going up a little spiral staircase. What?
Bloodwell Guard, we're a secret society that protects the world from evil items and nefarious things. We probably have a secret handshake, I imagine. Don't we, Sia?
He just looks at you as you guys kind of crest the landing. No.
How do we recognize each other then?
You have that book I gave you?
Yes. Which had the cool quote on the cover. Oops, that's the wrong page. The butterflies keep their own time and counsel.
That's how we find one another.
Messenger butterflies?
That phrase.
No.
And
What?
messenger butterflies.
Really?
Well, mechanized ones, but yeah.
Nice.
She's now she can't help. She has to laugh as she's like leading you through the church, back towards the main doors of the temple. And yeah, she's just shaking her head and kind of laughing a little bit. She seems to be loosening it up slightly. And Gayle's behind you, just making, nom 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 noises. You can hear as you guys are going through the antechamber of the temple itself. You hear sort of the stomps of plate boots and Lily nattering on about something and Ulrich's laugh going down the other set of stairs on the other side. You can't actually see them, but you can sort of hear the echo coming up from the stone.
So are they walking?
They're going down as you've hit the main floor. They're going back down to where you just
But they're
left.
using the other set of stairs, or are they like phasing
No, they're
through us?
using the other set of stairs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can actually hear them with your ears.
Well, I just wondered if this was illusion magic and we were using the same set of stairs,
No,
but
you're on
not
opposite ends.
able to see each other.
Yeah, because you went up the side from the library and they went down the side from the workshop.
Gotcha.
So yeah, didn't hear them or didn't see them, but you could hear them.
I should go run after them to fuck up continuity. Hey guys!
I would kill you. I would strike Xylund dead with the fury of Xana. Giant crossbow bolt from the sky. So you are led out into the main area. You can see the headless statue of Xana holding her bowl. The daylight spell is in full effect. But everything has as described before, everything in here kind of has that weird Technicolor cast anyway because of the daylight spell.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, it's very similar to sort of the Octarine effect from Discworld. Yeah, it's not just that the colors are weird and the shadows aren't quite right because of the daylight spell, but it's almost as if some things are outlined in a color that's not quite a color. There's the little fireflies and things are still sort of buzzing about in the air, but it's not the usual gold and green that you used to see, and everything has sort of a weird, almost metal cast to it. Not enough that you actually think they're made of metal, but just enough that it sort of catches your attention that, hey, the light reflects weird off of that, or that looks strange. Just these little pinpricks of that's not quite right as you make your way to the center of the cavern.
So
A little disorienting.
Say to Sia, so not everyone can see this light effect, is what you're saying.
The Technicolor effect everyone kind of gets because of the daylight spell, but yeah, this eighth color, this extra weird sort of reflection of metal and this odd sense that things are not what they should be, is specific to you. Like Gayle doesn't seem to register any difference. And it looks markedly different to you than it did when you guys entered the temple originally.
So why can't I see through this?
I don't know.
Well, I'm asking Sia.
Yeah, see, I didn't know. I have no idea. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be able to see any of this.
Well, I couldn't before. So it must be something I did since then. I was working with those blue gems.
The ones from the mechanisms?
Yeah, well, that one I gave you, I was using it in your dog. Does it leak sort of some kind of magical...
No, they don't leak. They're either whole or they fracture. They either are or they aren't. As you saw.
Is the frog's muck down here magical?
There's no frog's muck down here.
Where did Badger get the frog's muck from then? Is Badger real?
She kind of laughs as you guys get to the base of the statue. Yes, Patrick's real. He made your lunch.
Okay, just making sure.
He probably got it from the surface. He was out fishing. It likes to grow in ponds, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I bled in this well. Could that be why?
Her eyes get absolutely huge. You did what?
Yeah, well, I wanted to see what would happen, so I sliced open my hand and bled in this well. You know, the blood well. It made sense at the time.
And yeah, of course that's why you can see everything.
Oh.
You're,
Huh.
You're part of the temple now.
Gayle, do you want to be one of the blood well guard? Bleed in this well.
Gayle swallows the last bit of his meat. No?
Why did you even come on the road if you don't want to embrace the adventure?
I don't want to. I have my own goddess to serve. Thank you.
We're not serving. Being part of this blood well guard doesn't mean I have to, turn my back on Grennan or anything like that, does it?
And Sia kind of hops herself up on the edge of the well, the stone bit of the well, and swings her feet a little bit. Well, not entirely. I mean, this is Xana's temple, so you probably shouldn't say anything bad about her. She might take offense, but Badger's not a man of faith. He survives.
Alright. See, Gayle?
And he's gonna be okay with you bleeding in strange wells.
Grannon doesn't care. Grannon don't give a fuck.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, see, Gayle, you can be a blood well guard.
Gayle didn't want to be a blood well guard.
Alright, well, just make sure you record this for posterity.
He wipes his hands on his robes. He kind of motions for the writing stuff.
If you want to mention how striking my hair looked in the octarine light, although you can't see the octarine light, trust me, it's octarine.
Kind of nods to himself. Sits down in the patch of grass next to the massive Xana statue. Prepares to write this epic adventure in charcoal. So Xana says, okay. Or not Xana, Sia. Sia says, well, you got the hard part done.
Oh, good.
You already bled in the well.
I can bleed more.
No, please don't. So what this means, and so she kind of takes your hand, she takes both hands and looks for the ones with the cut. So she, identifies that one and she holds it out and looks at it, and then she looks at you. What this means is that you are now part of the temple. You will have a connection to it for the rest of your life. If it's in trouble, it will call to you. And if you're in trouble, you can call out to it.
And a horde of butterflies will bear me aloft to safety?
like a slightly cranky half-druid dwarf with an anger management problem, but you know, thought that counts. But you have to dedicate yourself to the law of the Bloodwell Guard. If you don't, the temple will take back what it's given you.
What is that?
What is the code, or what has it given you?
No, what is the, well, does it give me more stuff?
Well, you'll always have a safe place to stay, wherever one of us is. There are other temples in the world, not very many anymore, but some. There's all kinds of new things you can learn to make and build. Things will inspire you like they haven't ever before. And she starts to get really excited. Like, she still got your hand in hers. And she's still looking technically in your face, but her eyes are starting to wander off a little bit. She's going into her own world. Like, you'll see things and they'll just make sense. And nothing will seem complicated after a while. Like, it all just sort of clicks into place. And everything will be beautiful in its own weird little way. And you can take it apart in your mind and put it back together and make it better. It's worth it.
Alright, I'm in. So what's the code?
Okay. Well, you kind of have to honor Xana a little bit.
How so?
Well,
just don't take her name in vain?
Just don't talk shit. And,
okay.
If you see a gnome, maybe be nice to him. And...
Unless he's Navek.
Yeah, he's Navek. And, if you see people that maybe could use your help, you should probably help them. And if you see people that are in chains, maybe blow those up instead of my jail. Things like that. So basically, just try to be the best that you can be. Bring things back to us. Protect the temple. Keep us secret. That's kind of important too.
When you say secret, like Gayle is over there writing this down.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying don't let anyone see what he's writing down?
I'm saying I don't want a lot of unnecessary guests. At least not until my jail is 100%.
Alright. Maybe we'll edit this bit of the story.
That would be appreciated. I mean, it's not like we're hunted or anything. She does that weird little laugh that she does. A little high-pitched one. But it's, may not want to advertise,
Gotcha.
Guard,
okay.
just in case.
Yep.
We have a lot of things that blow up.
I get it.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll change the name to something else.
Okay. That a little creative license is fine. The other bonus, next time you come, you won't have to use the chute.
Ooh.
You can just take the stairs.
Where do the stairs lead from?
And she points off to the far corner. I'll change maps here so you can get an idea of where it is in relation. So you guys are hanging about the well. But ow. This is the kitchen and dining room and the quarters that you slept in over here.
Yep.
Okay. And then off in the distance, you can see there's a large sort of stone silo that reaches all the way to the top of the cavern. It's a building that you guys haven't actually explored and no one's really gone to, but that's the direction C is pointing in.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're done, You can leave and enter from there. No more shoots. No more explosions. No more wanton destructions of other people's hard work.
So is Colin one of the Bloodwell Guard?
No! Are you kidding me? No way!
Who is Colin then? Just some random asshole?
Kinda.
No, I figured.
Nah. From what I understand, his family has kept our secret for a very long time. They built the inn originally when the temple was sunk, and it's been sort of their duty to continue to protect it. He is an asshole, though. I can attest to that. He thinks I'm a halfling. It doesn't seem to matter how many times I correct him.
Racist.
Yeah. I think he's doing it on purpose, though.
That iron creep of yours, I might be able to fix that.
No, you can't.
I can try.
It's okay.
I have magic hands.
She just kind of laughs and drops your hand with the scratch on it. It's too far gone at this point. I should be dead. But it won't matter when I'm a keeper. It won't matter. So as long as I stay near the temple, I'm okay. So.
Oh wait. Okay, out of game for a sec. Sia said she was from Lorehold, didn't she?
Yeah.
Was she the one who mentioned the mark? Did she say that they helped her escape or something like that from the mines, or?
No.
No? Okay.
No, she escaped the mines because she got sick.
Okay.
And she got thrown. Basically thrown out and left to die.
Bastards.
And was rescued by Badger.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't mention the mark.
I swear you mentioned the mark at some point.
I don't know. I said maybe one of the other party members did, but it's not in my notes.
Okay.
So
maybe I dreamt it.
Possibly. Or we were talking about something else. Not the marked, but something else that was marked. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
6 people talking at once can be a little confusing.
Yep.
So yeah, Sia dropped your hand. It's like, okay. Say your oath. Has to be honest and sincere and heartfelt, or the temple will kill you.
For real?
Yeah, totally.
Has it happened before?
Well, I don't know. You're the first person I've ever done this for.
Alright.
We don't take on new members very often.
Well, then I'm honored.
Kind of the blood in the well was sort of a thing. I mean, welcome aboard!
You should stick a lid on the well if you don't want people bleeding in it.
It's never been a problem. You are the cause of all of these signs that I have to put up now. You are the reason it says "do not eat" on the back of shampoo bottles.
No booping, no bleeding in the well.
Do not explode the jail. Thank you. Alright, say your oath.
I, Xylund Shrillsteel, do solemnly swear. I don't know the oath. You're gonna have to lead me through it.
Well, you just have to say something heartfelt. You just have to say that you pledge yourself to the temple and the service of the Blood Guard until the day that it decides to claim you.
Until the day that it decides to claim me.
Yep.
What's that entail?
Well, just you dying, really.
And then I'm claimed?
Yeah.
Do I live on in gem form then?
Only if you're important enough.
So that's a yes. What happens if I'm not important enough?
Well, I'll show ya. And she kind of stands up on the edge of the well. She points to one of the big guards that you guys fought. Those big mechanized dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You see that guy? He was super important. Remember the guys you blew up in my jail? not as much.
So you're telling me that I've fucked up the afterlife of a bunch of Bloodwell guards, of which I am going to become a member?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's another sign. That's another sign you should put up. These are the dead, the honored dead of a long and honorable tradition. Don't fucking make magic bombs and blow them up.
She gives you your rant and then waits 2 beats, and her little stone face expression just immediately goes into laughter. Like, I'm just kidding. The big guys are old warriors, that's true, but the little guys are just powered by spells. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to make you feel bad. Because you should feel bad.
So are they conscious, these guys?
The Guardians?
Yeah.
Not really.
So what part of me will go into them, presumably?
Well, you're part of the temple. So your spirit just resides here, and those things are just shells. Old stone and spring shells that you can inhabit when we call.
So I won't turn into one of those mist snakes, will I?
No, the mist snake is different. It comes from the mist. It's born of the stones. It's not. I don't even know if it's conscious.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just more garbage from the stones.
This might seem like a weird question for a Paladin of Grennan to ask, but does Grennan offer an afterlife?
You're asking me?
I'll ask her. Xylund might not know this.
I guess it's true. You haven't actually spent a whole lot of time in the church.
No.
She just kind of laughs. Well, I don't know much about Grennan. My people, we only worship Dana, and Morhold's not real big on religion as a whole.
Gayle, is there a Grennan afterlife?
Gayle looks up from his notes. Yeah, probably.
Is it any good?
Imagine being trapped in a room with a bunch of lawyers for all eternity.
Alright, this sounds better than that. And besides, I'll be living in a gem form anyway, so we're all good here.
Gayle starts to nod in agreement, and then after a couple seconds, he starts shaking his head no, and goes right back to his notes. Okay.
You're on my last nerve, Gayle.
You brought this on yourself. He was happy and eating, and you made him come do stuff. And he's bloody, and he's dirty, and unhappy. Yeah, Sia jumps down off the well. Okay. Any more questions about your soul, the afterlife, and how to behave like a person?
So
blow things up?
I do actually. So when I'm in gem form, and you stick me in one of those shelves, will I be conscious while I'm in the shelf?
What shelf?
The plaques in the room with the book.
Oh, only smart people go there.
What are you implying?
She laughs. Yes, if you're asking how the soul stones work, yes, when you're in a soul stone, you are very conscious of your surroundings, but you have total control over what that surrounding is. The people in those stones were powerful people with amazing abilities in life, and they can use those abilities inside their soul stones. They're still them, so they can create any reality they want in there.
And you're saying you think the chances of me getting to live in a soul stone are slim?
I'm saying the people that exist in those stones are either so dangerous they can't be let out into the world, or are so precious that we can't afford not to have them with us. I'm curious which of those you think you are.
Both.
I guess we'll see. Like Keeper always says, you can only deny what you are for so long. everything eventually shows its proper self. So, make a pledge. She kind of kicks your shin a little bit.
Oh, right. I pledge to do my best in the service of the Bloodwell Guard until I return here to take my rightful place in gem form in a realm of perfect, pure crystalline thought for eternity. The end.
You're Gayle kind of laughing off to one side as he transcribes that onto parchment. And Sia looks up. Probably would have sounded better in Gnomish, but... And then she looks at your hand. And make a Constitution save, please.
Oh shit. Yay!
Good job. So you watch the cut that you made in your hand where you bled into the well, and it itself begins to blacken, and the flesh around it also does, like it's rotting away. Just in a small inch or two wide patch surrounding the scar. It doesn't really hurt, it just burns a little bit. And after a few seconds, it dissipates. The scar is now an actual scar. It's not a cut any longer. It is a very much permanent scar.
Cool. While we're doing body modifications, I have this rather embarrassing tattoo on my chest, which, since I'm now a member of the Bloodwell Guard, it would be cool if you could transmogrify it to look like a butterfly or a well or something like that. I got it at Camp Vanalis. When I tap it, it makes me sober. Pretty cool. I probably should have done that before we started this.
Sia kind of looks at you and goes, well, that sounds like an incredibly interesting problem with an amazingly inappropriate story attached to it. I'm not much of a healer.
What about the Keeper? Could he do something about it?
Probably.
Would it be rude if I asked?
No. You're supposed to go back and talk to him anyway when we're done with this.
Oh, good. Okay. So that's it?
Well, you're alive.
Oh, good. I mean, so that is it then.
Do you feel any different?
I feel part of something greater than myself in a way that I never have before, until now.
Something tells me you've used that line before.
Once.
She kind of laughed. It's like, okay, we should go... Well, you stop by the workshop real quick, so... Collect your boy. Let's, get out of here.
Come on, boy.
Gayle sits up. Starts trundling behind the crew.
What would make you happy, Gayle? Like, what, if you could have anything you wanted right now, what would make you happy?
A shower and a real bed.
We had a real bed.
When?
Last night.
That wasn't a real bed.
Well, you're too picky. It's as close as we're gonna get for a while.
He starts to make noises and stomp his feet a little louder.
I have a bath in the Bloodwell.
No.
Tell me what's down there.
No. So you guys make your way back across the cavern and to the temple and down the stairs to the workshop. And Sia goes inside and she kind of pulls you two in along with her and shuts the door. The room is still pretty foggy with frog muck smoke, causing everyone involved to give a good couple of coughs as they shut themselves back in. So yeah, Sia indicates to you both to sit down and starts to dig through her bookshelf a little bit. Says, you're gonna need, gave you that book, you're gonna need another book too. She's kind of muttering to herself. And then about midway she stops and she looks up almost to the ceiling, but she does that thing where she gets really still for a couple of beats. Like, wait here. Just don't leave this room. I'll be right back. Okay?
Yep, I got it.
And she nabs something off the workshop bench and pops out of the room, shutting the door behind her.
Could I do a perception check to see what she nabbed off the bench?
Mm-hmm.
Oop.
Nope. A little hazy in here. So yeah, she shuts the door and you can hear her little feet in the hallway. And you still have that kind of hazy sensation, like you can hear a conversation through a wall. And again, you recognize the crew's sort of intonations and speech patterns, but you're not entirely sure what they're saying. And now that you've spoken to them, you can also hear the keepers sort of mellow, even tones weaving in and out of it.
Oh wait, I say to Gayle, this is probably because I'm connected to this place now. I can hear what's going on in here. That's pretty cool.
He just sort of stares at you and nods. Think you can get my books back?
Yeah.
Because then I can transcribe this glorious tale for you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to think of a name for to substitute for Bloodwell Guard and for Murstone too.
Okay.
And probably Amra Marin as well.
Probably.
You can work on that though. You're the creative one. I mean, literarily creative anyway. Presumably, aren't you?
I don't really consider myself creative.
Well, look to the natural world for inspiration then. I guess.
So, you guys talk for a little bit longer, and the next thing you know, there's a knock on the door, and Gayle pops out real quick and pops back in almost immediately with his books belted. And says, "Look, I got him.
Good.
So, problem solved."
Wait, what just happened there? He popped out on his own and...
Yeah, he just popped out into the hall and popped right back in.
What happened there? Did someone call you out or...
There's a knock on the door.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear a knock.
Yeah, I said there was a knock on the door.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yep, Gayle was just closer.
Oh, gotcha.
And he popped back in real quick. He has his books. Kern gave me my books. I think they're leaving. Well, they were headed upstairs anyway. But we're supposed to see the keeper, right?
Yeah, I gotta fix this dog too.
Okay. Alright. So, a little bit of time goes by. And Sia opens the door to the workshop once again. Says, "Okay, your friends are on the road, I think." I showed them how to leave anyway.
So they left without me? Does that mean they traded me for their stuff?
She kind of laughs. Well, the keeper made the offer, but I don't think they took him up on it. Your stuff's not dangerous.
Oh.
Oh?
Nothing.
What?
No, nothing.
Okay. So, she collects you. You wanted to see him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She seems a little tired. She's moving a little slower than she has been all day.
I pat her on the head. It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day. You make your way back down to the keeper's room, which looks exactly as it did when you left it. And the keeper's there, and he looks pretty pleased. His brow is a little more creased. Kind of in the middle between his usual affable, even-keeled self and when you ask him about Navak. He's about right in the middle of that level of irritation. But he looks at you and, well, I understand you've made your pledge. You're one of us officially now.
Yeah, did they upset you? I apologize for anything they said, even though they really have nothing to do with me.
He just waves a hand. Their concern is well placed. I wouldn't worry about it. So, how long do you intend to stay here then?
Well, I should probably get going relatively soonish. Did they mention where they were going?
Not directly.
Indirectly?
The keeper kind of smiles. It sounded like they were of two minds. Some were choosing to go to Loreholt. Some were choosing to return to the kobolds.
Who is going where?
The holy man, the pretty girl, and Master Davin are choosing to chase down the kobolds. Your mage friend and the rogue going to Loreholt, predictably.
Well, friend might be stretching it, but...
Kind of smiles.
Did they say why they were going to Loreholt?
Presumably to track down Emma Marin or information about her. She gave young Master Davin information that he wishes to follow up on.
Not sure I want those two having first crack at whatever's to be found there. Yeah, so I probably should be getting on the road fairly quick. I want to fix this dog, though. I can work on the goggles on the road. Well, but, they're almost done anyway. I have a couple questions before I go. Well, obviously, you probably have stuff you want to say too, but let me just get this out of the way first. I have this tattoo. The that I need to get taken care of. It brings back unpleasant memories. I was thinking, since I'm a member of the Bloodwell Guard, maybe you could do something to turn it into like a Bloodwell or a butterfly, or I got it at Camp Vanalis. When I tap it, it makes me sober. I'll demonstrate. See.
You're gonna activate your tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay. Forgive the obvious question, but why not take it back to Camp Vanalis?
It's not really on the way. Is there anything you can do? You seem very powerful.
Sort of gestures for you to come closer. And you're gonna expose your tattoo to him? Yes?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay. So he reaches out with sort of gnarled hand and places it over the tattoo, giving it a brief cursory glance. You can kind of see like Sia out of the corner of your eyes trying to edge herself around so she can see, but she's trying not to be real conspicuous about that. Kind of like tucking underneath your elbow a little bit. And
I'll angle my body slightly so she can see.
see? Meanwhile, Gayle is just horrified. But yeah, the keeper ends up just pulling out the entire picture. So what's left is just sort of the scarification of the spell that's in there, the protection spell. There's no actual image any longer. He just pulls the image out.
So I guess I could get a new tattoo, just a non-magical one to fill the space.
Or return to Marielle and her merry crew, and I'm sure they could do something for you.
Does it still work, though? Is it still magic?
Yes.
Okay, good. My other question. Is a somewhat delicate matter. I wonder if we could speak privately for a moment.
He kind of arches an eyebrow. Dia looks mortified. But she grabs Gayle and takes him out. And you can hear him walking beyond the actual doorway and going around the corner, since technically these don't have doors.
Mm-hmm.
Keeper says, feel free.
So I shoved this magic bracelet up my butt. And it's causing some internal pressure that I'm not sure is ever going to be relieved without some herbal aid of some kind. Or magical intervention, maybe. I'm not really sure what to do.
Well, that is a problem.
It's not dangerous, though. Or not, I mean, in the wrong hands it would be dangerous, but... You know me now.
It's not dangerous. No, I'm aware of what you carry and where you carry it. No, it's not dangerous. Badger, as I understand, it is a delicate subject. Badger would be the one to speak with. Sia could help you as well, but perhaps you would be more comfortable with Badger.
I think I would. Badger is a man of the world. He understands things like shoving bracelets up your butt. I think Sia would look at me a bit differently.
Quite possibly. He is in the kitchen at the moment.
Okay.
We'd like to go see him. I'm sure he could prescribe some sort of remedy for you.
Also, in the interest of learning as much as I can about the Dragon Orb, I'm going to have to, once I'm done fixing this dog, I'm going to have to hasten with all speed to Lorehold to try to outpace my quote-unquote friends. Is there anything you could do to help me get there faster? I already have a magic horse, but
I would speak to Sia. Both she and Badger are familiar with those areas. They could likely show you some shortcuts, some faster paths.
Okay. So is there anything you would like of me as I venture out into the world and do the great work in which we are engaged?
Only that you honor your pledge. If you do intend to go to Lorehold, that is one place that I can't reach. You will lose your connection to the temple while you're there. But only while you're there.
Okay.
That is one area we haven't yet learned how to infiltrate completely.
What magical barrier that surrounds that place, how is it, what creates it? Like,
we're not sure. The history of Lorehold is that it was built in a dead zone. A naturally occurring dead zone, but no dead zone would have the power that Lorehold seems to have. And yet we don't know of any sort of mechanism or other interference that would keep the seal quite so strong. It's a bit of a mystery to us. And we aren't much use inside its walls. We don't have the numbers to spare to infiltrate, and without our connection, we don't have much to fall back upon.
I'll just
That's
have to be careful.
I would recommend it. We believe that the orb was actually held in Lorehold.
What was that?
For a long time, we believed that's where the orb was held,
Okay.
because we weren't able to track it.
Hmm.
The only thing that made sense.
So, stepping out of the game for a sec. All I know about the orb's origins, aside from Amber having made it, is that Priestess Bowen had it, correct?
You guys encountered the orb in the hands of the kobolds.
But didn't Priestess Bowen give it to them?
The kobold said that it was a gift from the master, which was interpreted as being Bowen, but technically, Erlix never said Bowen did it.
Oh, okay.
But you guys interpreted it as Bowen, and I've never bothered to correct you.
Well, consider me corrected until I forget this bit of knowledge.
And honestly, you guys didn't really get. I mean, no one asked her about it directly, that I recall.
No.
And
Well, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. You guys had a lot of stuff going on, and then Tubaris went down, and the inn went up in flames, and she ended up in not so awesome shape, and has been held by the Church of Darelai this whole time. So you haven't had any access to her.
All right. Huh. Okay, well, we probably shouldn't have given her to the Church of Darelai, he says for the 20th time.
I'm sure she's fine.
Yeah.
She's just the leader of a small rival church that Darelai wants to completely take over and subsume all of its treasures and money and influence, I'm sure.
Alright, so I better get back to fixing this dog then.
Should I send Badger to you?
Oh, if you wouldn't mind. Could you, make him aware of my needs so that it doesn't come up in front of Sia?
The keeper kind of chuckles to himself. I remember enough what it's like to be you.
Well,
Yeah.
So as a tree, you don't defecate.
No, but I was a man once. If you can believe that.
Oh, I believe it.
And I don't think Sia needs to experience any more upsetting revelations for today.
No. She's had enough explosions for one day.
Quite. Alright, I will send Badger to Sia's workshop. I'm sure he'll do what he can. He does seem to enjoy you.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So the keeper just kind of closes his eyes, and the animation from his face sort of falls and leaves, and he gets as still as the rest of the faces there.
Okay. So I'll go back to the workshop.
Alright.
Is Sia there?
No.
I'll say, I really like that keeper. You know, I'm feeling really good about this. I think this is going to work out really well.
Yes, I said Sia wasn't there. So
Oh,
you're
she
talking
isn't
to
there.
yourself. No.
Okay. Well, I say all that, and then I realize I'm talking to myself.
Well, I mean, technically the keeper can hear you. So.
You could probably turn your slider down a little bit more.
Okay. You losing me again?
Yeah.
Alright, be right back. How's that?
That's good.
Okay. There.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yes, he is not in the room, but the keeper could probably hear you, so I'm sure he was. So you get back to work on your dog, and in a little bit you hear they're not exactly heavy footsteps, but definitely not Sia footsteps coming down the stairs. They still have sort of that vibrating quality where it's half hearing with your ears and half just feeling it in the back of your skull. But there's a knock on the door, kind of not quite a cop knock, but definitely a good sized fist knocking.
I'll open the door.
And there's Badger, all smiles, and kind of chortles and and grunt chuckles in his piggy little way. He's got what looks to be like a brass mug or a copper tankard of something that smells terrible. Like even through the remnants of the fog muck that's sort of clinging to the ceiling and the paper, you can smell whatever is in that mug. And yeah, he's got a big grin on his face. You can see he's missing like 2 teeth on the left-hand side. He's got a big shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, so, he hasn't handed it to you yet. He's just kind of walking into the room with it out in front of him, kind of past you, and onto one of Sia's stools.
Let's not make a big thing out of this.
Too small for him.
We're both men of the world.
No. And he snorts to himself. This is a momentous occasion for several reasons. One, you're one of us now. That's
Huzzah.
great. Huzzah. I don't think they've inducted a new member well, not in my lifetime.
Well, apparently I kind of inducted myself when I bled in the well.
Yeah, that wasn't too smart. I should have been paying attention. You don't think to warn people about that, though.
Well, like I say, signs would do wonders for this place.
Signs are important, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice bringing on a little, and again, he's still kind of waving his little tanker around. Welcome a little fresh blood. I mean, like you see, is the keeper and everything, and that's a whole different bag of fish. But it's nice. It's nice. So see, everything happens for a reason. And now, you can help rebuild what you broke.
I'm working on it.
And in exchange, and he's like half handing it to you, but not quite ready to let it go yet, I have a solution to your little problem.
I am going to make a dexterity check to just take it from him.
Okay, let me roll.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh no, that'll win.
Yay.
Yeah, he's half poor. He's not that fast. He's strong, he's not that fast. So yeah, it's a close contest. But you do manage to nab it, and he lets go at the last second. It's still all just smiles and clearly enjoying himself over this. Goes, now before you drink that, you're gonna want to find a comfortable place to lay down for a few hours at least. And then you're gonna find a bush that you really want to get intimate with.
Oh, maybe this isn't the time then. I gotta hurry and fix this dog so I can get to Lorehold.
You better drink it now or it'll just be muck.
Oh, goddamn. Well, alright, so I'll try to... Are there anything I can use to lay down here? Like,
Not in the workshop, no, it's not. I mean, it's not designed for that. She has a bedroom. Badger has a bedroom.
Is this gonna knock me out, this stuff?
Oh, no. No, it'll just make you wish you were dead.
Will I still be able to fix the dog while I'm...
With some concentration checks.
Okay. Well, okay, I will go outside, grab a mattress, drag it into the workshop, arrange all the dog parts around the mattress.
You're gonna go back to the quarters?
Yeah.
Where you guys slept? Okay. So outside the temple, all the way back to the quarters. Dragging a mattress, a gnome mattress. For one.
Better than nothing.
Okay. And you're just gonna set up a little bed in the Lucia's workshop.
Yep, and so I can fix the dog while nature takes its course.
Okay. The badger's still there swinging feet when you come back with your gnome mattress. Looking amused. I'm just gonna watch over you for a little bit.
Alright, you might want to leave before this gets too vile. Am I gonna have time to, like, run outside?
Yeah?
Okay.
How fast do you run?
Pretty fast.
Okay. Yeah, you should be okay.
I will, since I'm among friends now, I'll take off my armor. Just to
Just to run a little faster.
cut a step out of the process.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be the best. Because
Alright,
then
so
you're gonna have to get your bracelet.
God damn it.
I love everything about this plan. Alright, so you down your tankard.
Yeah.
Alright.
I lay down and keep working on the dog.
Okay, constitution check. Okay. So yeah, you can work on the dog.
Oh, that was a save. Did you want me to do a save or a check?
Oh, save's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
constitution save's fine. So you get some more work done on it. It's actually coming together pretty well, the amount of time you spent on it. And considering you don't really know how long you've been down here, that's saying something. So go ahead and make another.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So you're not quite done, but your body says you are. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Okay, I heed my body's advice and I dash out.
with a piggy little chortle echoing down the hallway as you bolt your way up the stairs.
As I go, I'll shout, Gayle, do you know Sacred Flame?
You don't actually know where Gayle is. Like
Gayle! Sacred Flame!
You hightail your way out the temple. You're in the main. So now you're in the main chamber again, which I'm glad we left that map up. But the only bits of greenery in this whole place are some of those razor vines that are in the center by the well. I mean, that's really the only place where there's any greenery. There are some other vines that have grown up around the various rocks, and they've sort of clumped up and made bushes, but they don't look super friendly. They look like half dead and kind of crispy. The softest grass and the nicest bushes are by the well.
That seems pretty disrespectful to the well I just swear my field to you to.
It kind of does. Now, there is an existing pile of poop. Here. As
What-
was noted when you guys first arrived.
What kind of poop?
Poop?
Like
It's a
dwarf
manure
and norm
pile.
poop?
It's a small manure pile. What are you gonna do? I love that this is part of your trial.
God
Like
damn.
it wasn't bleeding into the well. It wasn't pledging yourself to a goddess. It was, where do I take a poop?
Don't shit in the well. Will he shit in the well?
Please
This
don't
is
shit
the
in the
trial. Oh, but it's such a convenient latrine.
It is, but you're part of the
So
blood
tempting.
Well, you're part of the blood well guard. I don't think you're supposed to shit in the well. I mean, you do you, you know. dice, and I don't
So,
wanna,
what's
don't
over
wanna
here?
blow the nose. I can't. Hang on. Let me move the.
These are not viable bushes.
They're not as soft and green and nice looking as the ones in the center. They are technically bushes, though. They're just. They look kind of thorny.
Got well. They'll have to do.
Okay. So you hightail it over there.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make a dex save. Oh, but you make it to you make it to the thorn bushes, and they are indeed thorn bushes. But you make it. You take a die 6 piercing from the thorns and bushes to your rear.
Do you want me to roll that?
No, I rolled it. I meant 6 points, not die 6. I rolled
Oh.
a die 6. You got 6 points
God damn.
of piercing damage.
Maximum damage. I really shredded
Well,
up my
you
butt.
probably went ass first into that bush, to be fair.
I'm gonna have to lay hands on my own butt.
Clearly. So you do your business. The whatever concoction Badger has made for you seems to do the trick, as everything that you have ever eaten in your entire life seemingly is expelled in one great expression of relief. It's over pretty quickly, thank goodness. Damage to your butt aside. So now you're left with what you've created, and your bracelet is not currently visible.
I will find a stick.
Okay.
Wait, first I will. Are there any like leaves around I can use to wipe my ass with?
Yeah. The bushes have leaves and stuff on them. They're just like, so they're kind of crispy and dry. They're not watered or taken care of. So
Okay.
yeah, you can wipe your butt and everything, but
First that.
not super comfortable.
Then I will quickly get myself unsober. I will down whatever's in my flask.
Okay.
Find a stick.
Okay.
Start fishing around in the poop.
All right. So basically, you'll have to break off a branch from these bushes and sort of push yourself through here. And after a couple minutes of poking about, make a perception check at disadvantage. See how long this takes you. It's like, all I see is poop.
Silence midnight of the soul.
This is his personal hell.
Yeah. Poking around in poop.
So after what seems like an eternity.
I have to take some breaks. Like after the first 5 minutes, I'm like, fuck this. I'm like just walking away. Fuck this. Fuck the bracelet. It's gone. It's never coming back. And then I go back, poke around a bit more. Fuck this. No. Fuck it.
Eventually, with much great personal sacrifice, you manage to locate the bracelet and can lift it out with your poo-covered stick. The bracelet is also entirely poo-covered and rank and awful. What do you do?
I set it down and look at it sadly. What hath I wrought? I put away the fairy halo so that maybe the self-recriminations will die down a little bit.
So you put airless away?
Yeah, I don't need to be smart for this part.
I want to be as dumb as possible.
Well, I'll go look for Gayle. Like, where the fuck was he in my hour of need?
Okay. Any particular place you'd like to start looking?
Well, you said you wanted a bed, so I'll go look in the dorm first.
All right. Yeah, dorm's completely empty.
Library.
All the way down in the basement?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking right. He's in the library?
Yeah, he's in the library with Sia.
Did you not hear me shouting?
Well, yeah, but I didn't. I peeked out in the hall and you were gone.
Do you know Sacred Flame?
Yes.
Come with me.
Why?
Don't ask questions.
Okay. You want me to write this part down?
No. No.
Okay.
Leave the book here.
He puts the parchment and the charcoal back down. He's been transcribing it into his journal at the table
Okay.
in the center of the library. So he kind of puts that all back down and he kind of looks over at Sia. Sia just shrugs and he follows you.
I apologize for what you're about to see and what I'm about to ask of you.
Okay. Did you? No. You didn't. There's nobody up here to kill. What did you do?
You'll see. And it will scar you for life.
Oh, well past that.
So I show him the poop-covered bracelet. So I need that to be, cleaned with the fires of a god, basically, to get all the
Okay.
filth off of it.
Okay. But if I use Sacred Flame, will that just, bake it on? Won't it be there forever? Won't it be
Sacred Flame is like
pottery?
cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then just cast it again until it's burnt off.
Okay. Kind of pushes up his little Jedi sleeves. I stand back, I guess. Could you move it further away from the poop so I don't start a fire?
I grab my poo stick and flick it away from the poo.
He chases after it.
I appreciate you, Gayle, and all that you do.
So at this point, as Gayle sort of readies himself to burn away your shame and reclaim this wonderful magical bracelet that's totally worth all of this, Sia and Badger have wandered out of the temple.
I will head them off.
They're headed towards you. Badger is definitely talking to Sia, and Sia is definitely laughing about something. Full on guffaw, slapping her thighs as she's walking towards you guys.
What's the joke, friends?
And she's trying to peek around you and making a big show of trying to see what Gayle's up to, and you hear Gayle in the background going, "Oh, Hyland. Oh." Little wafts of smoke come trailing over from behind your back. Badger's is losing his shit.
Alright, fine. Laugh it up, you assholes. I'm gonna...
Just piggy grunts galore.
I have a dog to fix. I'll storm down to the workshop.
Oh, you work on your dog. Eventually, Sia herself comes down with Gayle in tow, and she brings you a little bit of food. It's just basically the leftovers of the fish and the meat from lunch that Badger's turned into as like a mock stew kind of thing.
Yeah.
No bread or anything, and bowls definitely seen better times. No utensils at all. Brings you some water as well. Just you, though. And she kind of apologizes to Gayle. And she hands him some stew, and she's like, "I'm sorry about the drink stuff," but he just kind of shrugs.
The drink stuff?
Yeah, she brings water, but she only brings water for you.
Why not for Gayle?
It'll make him sick.
The water here makes him sick?
It will. Yeah.
So only we can drink the water here?
Yeah.
Does the water come from the blood well?
Mm-hmm.
I look at it.
Looks like water.
Is it interdimensional water?
I don't think so.
I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay. It does have a faint aura to it, like an abjuration aura to it, but would be similar to, say, holy water. It doesn't seem to be anything more powerful than like a bless spell, something like that, or a hallow spell.
So do you bless the water, or is it pre-blessed?
A little bit of both.
Alright, I'll drink it.
Okay. Oh, it just tastes like water. It's the first water that you've had since you've been here.
Aren't you pretty thirsty, Gayle?
I'm alright. Stew's good. And so he's sort of like half eating, half drinking his stew. We're gonna leave soon anyway, right?
Yeah, we gotta get to Lorehold. Oh, that reminds me. Do you guys have any more drugs? I need a stimulant, not a depressant, for the long journey.
Yeah, kind of frowns. I could probably make you something, but why?
Because I gotta ride all night and all day until we get there.
Is that wise though?
Yes, because we'll get there first.
Okay.
I'll tie Gayle to my back so that he can sleep while we ride.
Gayle is horrified at the suggestion.
And I'll just stay up all night.
Okay. Oh, okay. How about I just show you a shortcut?
Oh, well, okay, that'll work too. But I'd still like the stimulant.
Okay. You really should slow down, you know.
Why? I have blood wells to guard.
Well, that's why. You're connected to the temple now, so it's always going to be a bit of a drain on you. You should just be careful sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll make it for you, but
Thanks.
kind of stomps away. And so Gayle's now looking at you. So we're gonna ride all night?
Yeah.
Where's your horse?
I don't know. I just cast my mind out to sense where my horse is.
Your horse tells you that he's in a stable. He's in the priest's stable, to be precise.
He's in the which stable?
The priest's stable? Marin Eccles?
Okay. Have you seen the others around at all?
No, at that point, he hasn't seen them yet.
Okay.
So, you continue working on your dog, make one last check. See if you finish the dog.
What am I checking?
Make a tool check.
Tinker's tools.
You'll...
Oh wait. Oh, I've got this repair thing. How does this work again? Leaving no trace of the tree on the game. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Yay! That's actually 27. Because I took my fairy out again.
What?
What do you mean, what?
You didn't say you took your fairy out again.
Well, obviously I took him out. I'm back to work doing
Alright.
Artificer stuff.
Bye. Alright. That was actually, that's a super good roll. So you are able to put the dog back to the best of your ability. He's almost 100%, but you still don't quite understand the mechanisms to get the power supply working 100%. But good enough for government work, like a real good first attempt.
Does he walk around and?
Yeah, he moves a little bit. You can tell he's not getting all of his power, like the stone's maybe not seated in there as well as it could be, but he's functional
Does he obey commands?
for the most part. Yeah, he seems the stone keeps like blinking out and then coming back on. So if he doesn't hear the command or if it's during one of those dead spots, it won't work. But for the most part, he seems to understand and obey.
I'll call him Blinker then.
Call him Blinker. Okay. That works.
Roll over, Blinker.
He tries, but he's made out of metal. So he kind of...
I give him a helpful kick.
Yeah, he rolls over. He can only get 3/4 of the way, and then his legs stop him because he doesn't have the ability to tuck him under and finish rolling.
Is Sierra around?
Not at this moment, no. She's doing stuff for you. But she does pop in shortly thereafter. And she hands you a small vial of, it just looks like sand to you. Super fine sand.
Is this the stimulant? Do I snort it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. How much do I take?
Well, this is 1 dose, and it's not a lot. The vial is pretty big, but the actual amount of sand in it really isn't. It's not more than about a tablespoon or so.
How long will it last?
It'll last overnight, and no longer.
How far is it to Lorehold? Using your shortcut.
Well, if you use my shortcuts, it might be 2 days.
Could I get 2 doses?
Rounds.
Look what I did with your dog. I named him Blinker. Roll over. Wait, don't do that. Speak, Blinker.
Blinker gives kind of a rusty bark, which is basically just the turning over of the gear, but it's barkish. And she kind of laughs. I'll give you 1 more of it. You'll have to sleep sometime.
Oh, I'll sleep. Actually, maybe make it 3 doses.
You'll kill yourself.
Do you think?
Yes?
If I take 3 doses in 3 days, I will kill myself. That you're certain of that?
Not certain, but it's not smart.
I don't think you understand what I'm facing here. Ulrich is going to Lorehold to learn the secrets of Amramarin.
Yes?
Ulrich. You know Ulrich?
Yes.
He's going to Lorehold to learn the secrets of Amramarin. I have to beat him.
Why?
Because he can't know that shit. Think of what he could do with that knowledge.
Well,
And he'd hide it from me, and from you, and from the Bloodwell. It would be bad. He would, turn it to profit, and it's like he is the wrong hands. You know how we're supposed to keep this shit out of the wrong hands? He's the wrong hands.
I suppose you're right. Okay, but you'll have to sleep.
I will on the 4th day.
Okay. And don't take anything else at all.
Like not even frog's muck?
No, not frog smoke, not anything.
What about booze?
No.
That's asking a lot.
You want it or not?
Yes.
She leaves again. Gayle's just kind of looking at you.
Do you know, you know that thing where you pound the person's chest when their heart stops? When somebody's child dies? Yeah, like
Like
that.
in the plays. Yeah.
Good.
You could just not take it.
Did you not hear me what I just said?
I heard you.
Yeah, you know Ulrich. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to let him learn the secrets of Hammermaren before we do?
I don't think Ulrich is smart enough to learn the secrets of Hammermare.
Nobody's got Lily with him, and she trusts him for some reason.
She doesn't know the matter. She's a mage, though. She'll have no power in Lawhold.
She's still pretty smart.
Yeah, she is. Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you. Maybe you should let me drive, though.
Let you drive what?
The horse.
But that's the whole point. I'm gonna be driving the horse. That's why I'm doing the,
What if you have a reaction and you kill us both?
I won't do that.
You just
I'm
make
pretty
it
tough.
worse. I'm not, though. He kind of squishes his little teenager belly.
You'll be fine. Think of all the things you've come through by now, Gayle. Like Mist Snakes and, Bimo the Grey and, Navex Tower. The Butterfly House. Think of all the crazy shit. You can survive one horse crash.
You mean like burning poop off of a...
Yes.
So as he opens his mouth like he's going to say something else, probably stroppy and rude, Sia comes back with more vials. They're slightly differing in size, so this is not a set, this is something she scavenged up. It's like, okay, I'm not happy. Registering that. Not happy. But at least if you keel over dead, we'll know where you are. I'm not saying we're going to come get you, but at least we'll know where you are and you come get your tools.
Thanks.
So she hands him over. Says, I grab this too, and it's a bit of parchment that she's sort of doodled on. And much like the schematics in her workshop and in her books, it's very well done. Very decently detailed for having been sketched out so quickly. And it's done in sort of oil set charcoal, so the rain won't bother it. And yeah, she hands it to you, and it's a trail map from Merstone to Loreholt. It completely avoids the main trade road, including the old Famor road, and instead shows different trails. Looks like there might have been mining trails or hunters trails at one point. Because if you take these, they'll get you there quicker. The gnolls use them, though. So be careful.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Do you know of a way to get into Lorehold itself without using the front gate?
Yeah.
Oh, do you? That'd be helpful.
And she takes her map back and she kind of sketches in sort of a rough outline of the city of Lorehold, just how the walls are shaped. And towards the mountainside of things, the Redbone Range, she puts a little X. Right here. There's a mining door. You're not afraid of the Red Cloaks, are you?
They're one of the gangs of Lorehold?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm afraid of them. I don't think I've done anything to piss them off.
Well, if you're a trader or a freelance miner or you're a member of the Eye, this is the door that you use.
Ooh, the augmented eye. Those are the tinkers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe I can. And I know their symbol. I remember, don't I? Like I learned that somewhere.
She wears it on her cloak.
Who does?
Thea.
Oh, so you're in with the augmented eye?
I was owned by the augmented eye.
Oh, so how would I go about impersonating one of them?
Pin helps.
Pardon?
A pin helps.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Could I borrow it?
Yeah.
Thanks.
And she says, well, it's upstairs. I'll have to get it. Where's my firecaster?
Oh, did Ulrich not give you that?
No one gave me that.
God damn it. Well, I'm going to.
It's fine. I can make another one. It's only good until the fuel runs out anyway. It's just helpful if you're going to be a member of the Eye to have those sorts of things with you.
Well, I've got these goggles.
That'll help. Any sort of like gadgets or.
Oh, I've got a grappling gun.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. They do enjoy their toys. You'll be a little out of place, being human and all, but I think you'll be okay. Just, well, you can bluff your way out of a situation, right?
Sure.
Alright. So, whenever you're ready to go, just let me know.
I had another question. Oh, do you know anything about the Marked?
The Marked?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do you know anything about Shark Marston?
Of course.
What do you know about him?
He's the head of the Lunar Tide.
That's it?
I know he's got strange teeth, and he's supposed to be a decent guy for being a crime lord, and he treats his people well, for the most part. They run the markets, they run the whorehouses, they basically control the money flow of Loreholt and have for a long time. They're one of the few gangs that would rather buy you out than beat you up.
What's the deal with his second in command, the one with the pirate hat?
The Commander Gilvin?
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean?
Is she a chronicler?
I don't think so.
Okay. What is she then?
I don't understand.
What race?
Oh, I don't know. I've never met her. Have you?
Yeah.
Well, what do you need my help for?
Well, I didn't have much of a conversation with her.
I don't think anyone has much of a conversation with her.
So is there anything you want while I'm out and about in the world? Like anything I can pick up for you down here?
Like go to the grocery for me?
Yeah, kind of.
She just laughs. No. If Amber Marin really did have a house in Loreholt, I'm not saying that she doesn't. I'm just saying that sometimes, the spirits can get confused, especially when they've been in their gems for a long time. Sometimes things blur for them. But if it's true, and she does have notes there, those would be amazing.
Okay.
Saying.
Pardon?
Just saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if anything I find will make its way back here, eventually.
Eventually. Well, I mean, sooner is always better. I'm sure she'd be happy to know her notes were here.
That's true, yeah. And you would probably be... yeah, she'd be probably... Yes, okay, I will bring the notes back here.
Good. We could definitely use them. Well, I've given you drugs, I've given you a map. I'll give you a pin. What more could you possibly take from us?
Can't think of anything right this second.
So you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be nice to Blinker. Try not to blow him up, I know you like to do that.
Maybe I'll rebuild him so he looks good.
He does basically all the things he used to do.
There's something to be said for style, Xylund.
I'm all about style. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. You'll learn. She just kind of laughs and sort of motions over her shoulder and leads you up a weapon shop side stairs to her personal quarters, which you haven't actually seen. I believe Ulrich was the only one who looked into those. Well, and Natalie. But it's a very small bedroom, about the size of a priest's cell. And it is just stuffed with books and odds and ends and has a very lived-in look. There's a small pitcher and wash basin sort of pushed off into one side. And what few utensils exist in Sarnellicor are apparently in Sia's room. It's stashed in a cup on the table. But she finds a small wooden box and pulls it out and starts rifling through it. And it's just full of little odds and ends and things. And she takes out a pin, similar in sort of size and shape to the one that she wears on her little tunic. And she hands it to you. It's obviously gnome-sized. It's not a brooch that a human would wear. It's about half size.
Do they have any kind of secret handshake or code words or anything?
The eye?
Yeah.
Well, most people can't understand what they're talking about anyway. They're so in love with their own designs that most people give them a wide berth. The fact that they have, explosives hanging from their belts probably doesn't help matters. Just pretend you're somebody important and you've got places to go, and try not to upset the Red Cloaks. They'll let you pass. Don't bribe them, though.
Okay. Got it.
You want me to show you out?
Yeah.
Okay. So with Gayle in tow, she takes you across the map, all the way to that far corner, to the large stone silo-looking thingy up here. Ba-dow. And there is very clearly a door. And Sia says, now, your little friend won't be able to see it, so you'll have to take his hand to go through. But just go through this door and follow the stairs up, and you'll be gone.
Take my hand, Gayle, and hold tight.
Gayle. But he does, as he's instructed. And you two walk into the silo. And as Sia said, there is, for you, very clearly marked, all lit up with sconces, a staircase that goes up the length of the silo. Gayle sounds like he's freaking out a little bit. He's gripping your hand pretty tight as you mount the stairs.
Wait, I might have something for this.
Oh, really? Is it drugs?
No, I've actually got it prepared. It's this.
Oh, heroism. Oh, he needs that all the time.
That's why I have it prepared. I've just never really had. There's always been something better to keep my concentration on.
So you cast heroism on Gayle. Calms him a little bit. But every now and he's still gripping your hand pretty tight. And every now and again, he sort of stumbles his steps a little bit, like he doesn't see the staircase. He's missing steps, but he's trying to keep up with you. And after a while, he says, "You don't see this, do you? You don't see any of this."
What do you see?
I see. There's like we're walking through trees, and this place is terrifying. And sometimes it's a maze, and sometimes it's a forest, and sometimes it's I don't know where we are. I clearly don't see what you see.
Yeah, well, I'm special, Gayle. I told you should have bled in the well when I asked you if you wanted to.
I'm not gonna bleed. He starts to bitch about bleeding in the well, and then he trips. He kind of catches himself on his shoulder. Still not gonna bleed in the well. So you make your way up to the top, presumably, and push your way through again, for you, it looks like a doorway, just an open doorway. And you don't recognize it, but you are now standing in a sort of decrepit, slightly falling apart cabin. Looking behind you, as you and Gayle sort of emerge from the wall, there's a metal stone, or a metal dressmaker's dummy. You can see where presumably Sia has been doing repairs to the base of it, where the wood's been pried up from the floor around it. And the wall itself just looks like a tapestry now. But there's enough of a shimmer there, that sort of octarine outline, that shows you the door behind it. You can hear birds singing. It's definitely after dusk. The sun is almost fully down. Seems to be coming on tonight. Brisket.
You mean Snowflumps?
Yep. Has informed you that he's been collected from the house of Marin Eckel and is once again at the inn.
Hang on. Looks like I've unprepared my fine steed. I'm gonna have to go friggin' steal my own horse.
You're gonna what?
He's been collected, and where is he?
He's back at the inn?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go steal my own horse, because I don't think I can, dismiss him and summon him without the spell prepared, can I?
That is correct. You have to.
Does it take a long rest to pray for spells, or can I do it with a short rest?
According to the player's handbook. Paladins. Long rest.
Fuck.
You can change your list of spells when you finish a long rest. Preparing a new list of paladin spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, and is 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list. So yeah, you have to pray for spells.
Why did I unprepare it? Alright, so I will wait for night to fall. Well, we'll head towards the end. Me and Gayle will.
Yeah, you are still a little ways outside town. Again, this is the cabin that Team Smart and Beautiful went to check out. So it is a ways from town. By the time you get there, night has full on set in, I should say, and the inn itself is lit up. There seems to be people in there. There's no other horses or carts or anything around the inn itself, even though both the upstairs and the downstairs windows are lit. You see Biscuit, and you see Brisket.
Snow Thumps.
No Thumps. You don't see your wagon, though.
Okay, I don't need that. I ask Snow Thumps if he's tied up or like hobbled or anything like that.
Wait, I'm trying to remember if they grabbed the wagon or not. The wagon might be there, I don't remember. Either way. No, he's fine. He's fine, and he looks good. Like, he looks like somebody's brushed him down. He's fine.
No one's given him a stupid mohawk or anything?
Nope, no one's giving him a stupid mohawk. He looks fine. He's happy. According to him, he's been treated well. He's been hanging out in a stable and well fed and well groomed. And
that would be the perfect time to give Biscuit to refresh my stupid mohawk on Biscuit.
Is that what you'd like to do?
It would tip off the fact that I've been here, though. I'll just tell Snow Thumps to quietly come over.
But she does.
Alright, so I'll get up on the saddle, haul Gayle up behind me, tie him around me, like tie ropes hooking us together, so that he can sleep without falling off the horse. And then
I'm not sure this is the right way to do this. Okay.
It is Gayle.
Okay.
And then we'll head off to Lorehold.
All right.
And if I start to feel drowsy, snort.
Okay. So you head out to Lorehold on your steed in the cover of night.